Okay, you getting it too, Crystal, on yours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go.
Imagine if you felt an overwhelming need to repeat something over and over again, like counting or locking and unlocking a door. Over 100 million people in the United States have been diagnosed with schizophrenia and obsessive compulsive disorder. Today I'm going to talk to you about those mental illnesses as well as a research study. The reason I'm interested in it is because as a registered nurse, I encounter people with mental illnesses all the time. The research article was published in the British Journal of Clinical Psychology in 2012 by Alexis Whitten and Julie Henry. The purpose of the study was to determine if OC symptoms or obsessive compulsive symptoms in people with chronic schizophrenia affects their ability to function in a social environment, and to determine if it decreases their ability to process social information. The study was, so now that I talked to you about the disease, I'll tell you about the study. The study used standardized testing to test the test subjects. There were 34 people who were diagnosed with schizophrenia. They were asked to look at 6 photos of 6 different emotions, and they had to determine what those emotions were. 44 of the test studies were people just with OC or obsessive compulsive symptoms. They had to answer questions and be able to finish sentences with the appropriate words. The questions were asked to determine if they had the ability to process social information and if their cognitive abilities have been decreased. Now that I told you about the study, I'll tell you about the results. The results, what they determined was the presence of OC symptoms was related to poor performance in some of the cognitive measures or their ability to process social information. In other words, due to the presence of OC symptoms in people with schizophrenia, it caused them to not be able to function socially and to process information like normal people would. However, they did determine that these relationships disappeared once they took into consideration general psychopathological situations. The conclusion was that the presence of OC symptoms in schizophrenia is associated with increased cognitive disabilities and decreased ability to function and process information. So now that I told you about the results and the conclusion, I just wanted to briefly go back over. We talked about chronic schizophrenia and obsessive compulsive disorders. They're very debilitating mental illnesses, and it causes people to not be able to function socially and normally. Over 100 million people in the United States are affected by it. So as I close, I have given you some insight about mental illness in America, in the United States, and I hope that I've been able to help you have a little better understanding of how difficult it is and how challenging it is for people with those disabilities to function normally. Good.